Remind me if I get that. Actually. Yeah. Basically. Let me make sure everything's looking right. It seems about it, but we're gonna be doing a 10-minute long qualifying session. Then we'll be doing a 30 lap long race. Stream is up, so we are gonna get to pacing here. Yellow lights on, so you guys can now start pacing. If anyone's asleep, then it's on you. We'll just continue on. I think everyone's here though. So just try to be reasonable here. Once we get to the actual race, we're going to do a cooldown. Those are the times during the practice session, by the way. About 7 seconds off the best times we saw the Rotsmods doing yesterday. That'll probably go down a bit, given that was just during practice. There's is trying to catch up here. So we got a 6-car field here today, about half the size of the mid-car class. But as we did also have one yesterday for the Rotsmod, 6 cars made the field. You don't need a big field to make a good race. A lot of competitive cars here today, especially up in the top 3. In fact, actually, once again, as I mentioned, Twin was not even the fastest car today during practice. That would be Shuffle. Seems like he's had his own competitor for every race. The previous one of the mid cars was Silver Woomy. The one before that was Giram, and now we have Shuffle having his take at it. So we're gonna get you guys off once we're almost at the final turn, by the way. So I'm gonna turn the lights to black here. We're just gonna have you guys get sent off to carry as much speed into the first lap. We are going to call the green flag right here. So the green flag's up here. The timer will start as soon as you cross the line. Again, we have 10 minutes of qualifying. 30 lap race. So Twin is more than likely going to be the pack leader here. Green flag in the air. As Twin crosses the line, our 10 minutes starts right now. So we have a 10-minute long qualifying session here. A lot of time to wind down and get a good understanding of how the track's running. Everyone is, of course, also packed up to each other. So with that being said, here's Twin Triple V sits. Shuffle's not too far behind, but that will be the gap. We're going to clear the board here now. For the second time. As Twin makes his way into the hotel hairpin, I think Shuffle has extended his little gap ahead of looks like Twin and Shuffle both have cuts. Mr. Monaco has stayed clean, so I believe Mr. Monaco might be the guy to watch here for this lap. The Multi-Beagle dude has been holding up pretty darn well so far. And he also has a he does not have a foul lap. He might. That might have been during the pacing, I'm not sure. Oh, not there anymore. Mr. Monaco is the only driver currently on track that has not had to cut this lap. Everyone else is trying to get through it. So this is Mr. Monaco's chance to get that pole position away. Of course, this is the longest qualifying we've had this week, being a 10-minute long qualifying. That's just the usual standard for GTI. As they make their way down the straight across from the start finish into the final turn they go, and Mr. Monaco makes his way out of the final turn. Twin goes by, crosses the line, It's a 141.329, but it's not foul. But here is Mr. Monaco, top of the board. It's a 143.399. Shuffle is also valid, but only 3/10 off of the top time so far. We're going to definitely see that time go down as this qualifying session goes through, though. Because these top three are by far capable of going much faster. I just know they are. These guys are insane. So, Shuffle might be en route here. Sector 1 is determined by this area. Twin, all of them have valid laps here this time around. First lap usually is the slowest one anyway, so we'll see. Shuffle now making its way over and through the second sector. Arisnetta actually starting to catch up to Multi-Beagle Dude in the back of the field. But Beagle so far has been holding off in 4th place. This is of course a qualifying, so positions are not the most important. But just to kind of give a general grasp of how things are looking. You can see Twin though, I don't know if he got a cut there, but he has a purple Sector 2. Sector 1 again is a pretty quick looking one with the 29.6. Makes its way down into the final turn. Twin Turbo V6 through the final turn, bit of rubber banding, bit of lagging, but it makes its way into the front stretch. Twin Turbo V6 crossing the line, goes top of the board. It's a 141.311, and Shuffle's going to improve. Mr. Monaco's not going to. It also wasn't valid, but Shuffle will move Mr. Monaco out of the way into 3rd place. Arisnetta, Eris, Beagle, and Jason have yet to set a valid lap, so another important thing is to get a lap in, generally speaking. So that could mean the difference between a couple of start positions. As Twin has made its way through the first sector. I don't know if that was as fast as this. It might be actually. But will Twin be able to hold a very dominant lead this time around? Mr. Monaco getting loose. Mr. Monaco is around. He has spun out. And that's going to cost a bit of time. This lap is no longer going to really matter for him. Arisnetta passes on by. And she so far seems to be running a valid lap here. Arisnetta now making her way into the last sector. So we'll see if that second sector has any validity to it. Yes, it does. She's going to cut through there. That is the one area that normally you couldn't cut on, but we are allowing a little bit of leniency this time. The rest of the areas on the asphalt, of course, marked with cones, you can't. So Eris was valid. She's looking pretty darn good here. Arisnetta with a 37.128. But a pretty good looking second sector. Makes her way through the final turn and onto the front stretch. She has no practice on this car. She has driven in both races on this track though, so she does have a basic understanding of it, and it's going to move her into 2nd place. It's a 142.051. So she has taken up the 2nd place spot for now. At least Beagle and Jason without any valid lap times here. But Twin still holds off, and that's a really good looking, well, that's a decent looking first sector. And see how Mr. Monaco does. And Mr. Monaco, that last lap wasn't looking too good for him. But this is, of course, qualifying, so he is green on his first sector. Mr. Monaco might be the car to watch this lap. So we are over halfway done with qualifying already. And once you guys are done, if you guys could stop at your pit lane or at your pit box after a cooldown lap, would be appreciated, just so I know who's where. Yeah, just do like a slow lap after. Anyways, Twin Turbo V6 actually has a purple sector 2, makes its way down the straight across from the front stretch into the final turn. With Twin being pack lead, let's see what he could set this time around. Goes across the final turn onto the front stretch. Twin Turbo V6 Will he go even quicker? He does not go quicker. That second sector was purple, so that's a sign that he has warned him. So back to Mr. Monaco. Makes his way around the final turn. Will he be able to go any quicker? And does not improve. But Beagle, I don't know if Beagle's en route to set a battle lap or not, but he does seem to be good on the first two sectors. How about the last sector? Makes his way through the final turn as Multi-Beagle Dude coming across the front stretch. Through the start-finish line, and Beagle will set a 148.598. Will take 5th place away from Jason. He's yet to set a lap here. Well, that could be 5th place there for Jason or for Beagle. Now, Twin's been our leader here. He does not have a valid lap, but Shuffle is cooking something here. We'll see if this one runs valid when he hits the last sector. You see Arsnetta is just closing in a little bit on the background. As Shuffle makes his way into the final sector, we're 2 minutes left in this qualifying session. About enough range for another lap or two. Let's see. We have... It's going to be pretty close here, but I think that might be it. Yes, it is. We're going into the white flag here. So the white flag, once you cross the line there, Twin. Almost there, but unless you push your heart out, I don't think it's going to come. But this will be the white flag you guys go into. And now Shuffle is going to make his way across the line, but does not improve his lap time. As Jason expresses his displeasure with the layout. It's been a bit of a tough course for him throughout the week. But Twin, let's get to Twin. Twin making his way down into the hotel hairpin. Now through the braking point, out of it. He's a little bit loose on the grass, but he's going to push on. This might not be... I don't think this will be a valid lap for Twin, but overall, Twin sorry, excuse me. Twin has held up quite a bit here. Arsnetta is not valid. Shuffle is. And Shuffle might be the only person with a chance to beat him. But Twin's got an absolute rocket ship of a lap going on here. So Twin makes his way up to the second sector. Is it valid? It is not valid for him. How about Shuffle? Shuffle makes his way over a couple turns here. As Shuffle makes his way. He is in fact green. Will Shuffle be able to take away the pole position? Oh no, he might have just gotten off there. We'll see. Twin, meanwhile, makes his way up onto the final turn here. So Twin will see the checkered flag wave. The non-existent one, since there's no flagman with us right now. But checkered flag out for Twin Triple V sits. Just do a cooldown, please. Everyone else do a cooldown. I don't know if this one's going to be valid for Shuffle. Shuffle and Air side by side. It is not, and it would not have been good enough to take the pole position away anyway. So yeah, just do a cooldown, please. Make one more lap around just to kind of clear up the field, or pull into the pits if you are coming into the line. If Shuffle, just do okay. Oh, okay. Alright, Jason, you're done. Beagle is the last person out on track, and Beagle actually has been studying a good lap so far. I don't know if he I saw you just send it every turn. As here's Beagle coming across the line. It improves to 148.029, and that's it for him. So we're gonna have the grid line up. It's gonna be Twin Triple V sits, Arsnetta. I gotta delete all the... Oh crap, I forgot to delete all the mids cars, so let me do that. So yeah, we're gonna spend a couple minutes here just trying to remove all the lag. Prepare for the lag spike. Oh, wait. So yeah, just pull into the pits, please. This one is over. I think I know who's pits who, so we could just line up at the end of the pit lane. Also, Eris, you have 2 GTI cars. That was because of last week's ordeal. Do you still want 2 GTI cars? Like, are you still stuck refueling that way? Or have you settled that issue by now? Let me just delete the extra cars. Now the extra cars are gone. Alright, if we can line up at the end of the pit lane, you guys know where your pit boxes are, but I also need to ask Eris, because again, you have 2 cars. Are you able to refuel on your own now? Okay, I'm gonna leave the extra car then. Just clear out some of the lag. So all the GTI cars, all the mid cars are out of the way. The game should run a lot smoother. Again, the board positions, we're going to have Twin Turbo V6 at first place, Aerosonite in second place. Third place is going to be Shuffle. I don't know where Shuffle went. He actually left the game. Let me check to see. We're going to keep his car lined up. Just try to make the race. I mean, again, with such a small field, just finishing the race is going to be a big points boost. So. He's at BRB, so I'm going to assume that he is probably going to come back. So I'm just going to set his car up. And we're going to keep the lights red. We are going to wait 5 minutes for Shuffle to come up. And if he's not there by then, we will start with 5 cars. So. Again, you guys should get fuel. Press X to get fuel. There's a specific one for controllers, so I don't know which that is, Eris or Twin. But if you guys know it, then would help to know. Okay. Jason, are you playing on net spots? Oh wait, if you're playing net spots, you couldn't be able to chat. Could you DM me if you're playing on net spots? Oh. Okay, yeah, just press your keyboard then. Yeah. Yeah, right. Forgot. Yeah. Sorry, my brain was turned off for a bit. And Shuffle is back on. So we're going to teleport back to his car. Okay. Yeah, I know. Oh, okay. So we're good. Is everyone ready? Say R if you're ready. Eris says R. Jason. R. Mr. Monaco's ready. Right. Thank you. Cut limit for today is going to be 45. We'll do 50. We'll have a limit of 50 for today. Do 10. Everyone's gonna fucking DNF. You see, we do have strict cuts, but like, we don't have as strict of penalties, so like, it's balanced kind of. I think. 10 is fine if this was like an F1 league that was like toxic, but like everyone's gonna DNF. That wouldn't be very fun. No, we're not doing 10. We're not doing 10. 10 cuts is gonna be hell for you guys. So I think we are already. So pace speed is just gonna be drive reasonably. Go like 50% twin. Lights are yellow. So we're gonna have our 3-lap race here. Let me read myself. I think I did yellow flags when I did that, but that's okay. Remember staying in your positions. Beagle, you're doing fine, but these guys need to pass you. And Shuffle needs to pass Mr. Monaco. Arizona needs to back off from Twin. Oh. Okay, we are doing good on pacing now. So we have a 6-car field here. Again, though, as I've said very confidently, we don't need a big car to have a good race. So I will die on that hill. And again, the pace speed is going to be, the pace speed will be first gear red line. Make sure you're not going too fast beforehand. If you do, then the penalty will be a drive-through. And if you do it the second time wrong on your drive-through, you're just going to get a 10-second time penalty by the end of it. So, you can undo that 10-second time penalty by just simply... you can undo the 10-second time penalty by going into the back and the nets restart if there is any. And if you mess up your pit stop, just stop for 5 seconds. If you accidentally go to the wrong pit or something, which will serve as the penalty, or just go to your pits. Just make sure you get your pits done right. Beagle, can you turn your lights off? It is a day race, so it's a little blinding. Same for Twin. That would be the, I think that's either H or L. So, and everyone turns their lights on. Mr. Monaco, thank you. Now everyone's playing with their lights. H, yeah. I think one of the keys actually flashes them. Yeah, Eric's just doing it. I forgot what that was though. Do you want to go to the back? You only have Jason behind you. Yeah. So we are going to be doing the same system, by the way, where if somebody, overtakes before the line, it will be okay this time. I'll try my best. Just focus on the light system. I'm not going to say when it goes green, but just focus on the GUI light system. If you overtake before then, you'll have to give it back by the end of the lap. Otherwise, you get a 5-second penalty after the race. Unless you, again, could give up the spot. It's not going to be to the driver. It's just going to be like by position. So make sure to be good about that. Lights are black. There's one more lap to go. And I'm going to fix laps. That's why we do 2 pace laps. To always make sure. Cuts are also not great. Let me fix Jason's. And we are back to good. I'm gonna get a thumbnail here. Let me see how that came out. Actually, not bad. So that'll probably be the race thumbnail. Oh wait, I can't. Okay. That's fine, I'll save that for later. There's a car that is dead. That is Mr. Monaco. They are not currently moving. So we're gonna call red. Just stop your car on the track in your position. We're gonna make sure. I want to make sure that we have all the time in the world, because this is the final class of the day. Not sure why they've disconnected. So let me teleport him back. And we'll have him restart from where he was position-wise, which was, I believe, 4th. So there you go. Just make our way back up. It's a good thing you disconnected before the race started, so we could have just, had this little thing and it wouldn't be an incident. So, just line back up in position. Leave the spot for Mr. Monaco. I don't know why he's lined up like that, but it's okay. I think his mom's right watching TV. Oh god. Okay. Shuffle. I mean, Mr. Monaco. Oh. And the whole field wrecks. Line up in 4th. That's good enough. Alright, yellow flag back on the track. We will try to go this time. Less chatting. Let's get this one going. Fortunately, we were able to have that little incident before the green flag was called, and hopefully that'll be the last time. But we'll see. We are narrowing on the end of the track, so we're going to turn the lights back to black as we make our way up to the last sector here. Eris, now you're a little bit close to Twin. Eris, can you back up from Twin a bit? Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's okay. Try to make like some space with the car ahead of you, please. Beagle, Jason. So at least the start will actually matter. We are doing pretty good on pacing though compared to the last class. So again, you're going to be focusing on the lights on the GUI, not the one on track. We got about one more turn until we really are going to start to go green. It's going to be a 30-lap race. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys took that red flag to get fuel, though I'm not surprised if not all of you did. It's okay if you did though. There's nothing I could do about it. So here we go around the final turn. Hold pace. Green flag. And it looks like Beagle got better off the line than Mr. Monaco, but we will be checking that one. No, that's fine. Twin goes off with an early lead. Arizona is not too far behind, but Beagle actually closing in a little bit here on Shuffle. But Arizona really closing in on our leader. Good. Alright, I think we got our cuts. Fine. As it looks like Mr. Monaco is side by side with Jason in the back of the field. Meanwhile, Arisnetta about a car length back from Twin. It's slowly closing in. Mr. Monaco is going to pass Jason. Now the next target down is Multi-Beagle Dude in the 4th place spot. And that 720S is coming in like a missile. Beagle goes wide, but Jason goes around. Jason into the barrier. Jason's going to get back going, but they're going to have to restart from the back of the field. As Arisnetta and Shuffle are tailing behind Twin for this race. Arisnetta is not taking her cut line that we've been seeing in the last couple of races. I think she's not found too much use in doing it. Arisnetta closing in on Twin Triple V6 on the straightaway. Little by little. And into the final turn they go. Aris is going to take a wide line, try and carry more speed onto the front stretch. But I'm not sure if that one's going to work quite yet. We see the gap is a bit under a second between first and second, as we're going to fix Mr. Monaco's laps. And else we shall have one lap. So, not an instant anymore. Okay, now the laps are fixed. And Twin gets a little bit loose there. Through what I believe, if I could search what this part of the track is called, that's the, that is Tower they look to be getting loose through. It's turn 13 on the track. And Arisnetta does, in fact, cut this time. Hopes to gain a little bit of something. But then she's going to get a little bit of a corner cut. But about maintains her gap with Twin, but it looks like actually Mr. Monaco might be closing in a little bit here on Shuffle. He has been just coming over fiercely, being the Italian missile that he is. And Eris has closed down a couple tenths that lap. Mr. Monaco's closed down a lot of time. So look at the board, let's see. So Mr. Monaco's gone 6 cuts. It's only been 2 laps into this race. But overall, the field has spread itself out. It has maintained its general gap. Shuffle closing down on Arisnetta here. I think she made a mistake off screen. I didn't really see it. I was checking something else for a second. But here's Shuffle looking around the outside, inside, every which way of her bumper. And now they go side by side here for that second place spot. Mr. Monaco has been frozen, so we'll be checking that one. That'll be his first warning. And Mr. Monaco is in fact out. That being said, we're going to go yellow flag here. So yellow flag, Twin gets it back. Arisnetta is going to get the net spot, second place. We are under caution, Shuffle in third. Mr. Monaco will be in the back of the field on this restart. Beagle will get 4th place. Jason will be in 5th. Let me find where your car is. Oh, there it is. There you go. Now that's your first strike there. Got 2 more. this might be a time for fuel saving. This point of the race. Let me reset myself. It's a bit of a track to make up for both Jason and... Well, Jason's actually closing in here, but a bit of a distance there for Mr. Monaco to make up. Almost fell a whole lap down, but they are going to stay on the lead lap. They're just going to have to make their way back. I'll be fixing your lap as soon as you cross the line. You might have to go a little bit under caution, though. Yeah. Just like it would in a real car, you just go into low gear and just cruise. So here's Mr. Monaco. He makes his way over back across the line. Change your laps to 3. I think you should be good now. I think you had 6 cuts, so we're going to change you to 7. So yeah, as Jason is claimed to go into the pit lane. Okay, I guess we might as well. Though I will say I'm considering, well, we'll have one more lap under yellow in case anyone wants to do any pit strategies. Our first gear red line is the speed. We are pretty early in the race though, so that could cause you to lose quite a few spots on the restart. So the choice is yours whether to go into the pits or not. And it looks like Mr. Monaco and Jason both pit. The rest of them stay out. Jason goes into the pits. Mr. Monaco is back in the pits. You also don't need to wait for a pit stop, you can just go, you just need to press X. And who's going to get it? And Mr. Monaco gets ahead, so even though he was going to start from behind... that's a speeding penalty for Jason. Unless you give it back. Okay, we're clear. You're fine. You gave up the time. You overtook under the pit lane. That was he was redlining, but you're fine. Just go. You gave it back, but yeah, if you held, that would have been a penalty. Just try to get back going as soon as you can. So we are 1 to go here. Been a bit of an awkward ordeal so far to get going, but I think this time might be it. Oh, yeah, he was further back, but I guess in a way, yeah, if somebody else pits, then you pit. I guess you could get a position. I think that might be the first time that a person that caused a caution actually gained a spot under caution. That's about the only place you really can is the pit lane. So, damn. As Mr. Monaco looks to the back there, I think got a cut from that. A little bit of tire weaving. Which, I'm not sure why you would tire weave in a car with tire wear, but you know, you do you. Guess it looks cool. Arisneta is antsy to get this one going. Shuffle's just kind of laying back here. As Beagle needs to get back going. You're holding us up. Alright. So we're going to head into the first sits completed once we're through this. So we make our way into the Le Mans turn, into the back straight. Just remember to watch that GUI. Beagle, you might want to be in the next gear. Red line is just killing your fuel, bro. You're also not going to go faster by doing it. Oh, and shuffle brake checks Beagle a little bit. Beagle, you want to be in the next gear. Alright, watch your pace. Because the green flag is here. And Shuffle is actually climbing here up to Eris. Eris climbing up to 20. We might be seeing 3 wide for the lead. And it just depends. We haven't quite gone there. We're side by side there up at the front. But Shuffle makes a move. Now we're 3 wide through turn number 1. Eris is going to go wide. A lot of calamity there at the front of the field. Beagle looking up to the inside of Arisneta. Shuffle side by side for the lead with twin triple V sits. Now this is an interesting little bit here. Arisneta side by side with multi Beagle dude as they make their way down into the hotel hairpin. Twin is going to lead us off here as Mr. Monaco is going back as Jason goes way off wide. Mr. Monaco going to collect up a spot there with multi Beagle dude. Moves out to 4th place. Arisneta going to stick back to 3rd, but Shuffle has moved up to 2nd here and is side by side for the lead. But Twin triple V sits Shuffle to the lead, just ahead of Twin. Here's Twin rebounding down the inside as Shuffles will go wide. We're going to look at the cuts here. You do want to be mindful of them. Shuffle is ahead of Twin, but Twin's right on his bumper here. It's about moved to a car link, but it could easily change here on the straight. The straight goes to the advantage of the Viper. They go side by side down it. As we hit the braking point, Twin is ahead, but Shuffle's going to make a move down the inside. It's a crossover for the lead. And Shuffle sticks back low, and he's going to lose it by the end of the straightaway. Twin back to the lead across the line. And Arisneta is just behind. That was a great restart by Shuffle as Twin goes a little bit onto the dirt there. Here's Shuffle climbing up, trying to gain time. This is where the Ferrari seems to have a slight advantage over the Viper. Meanwhile, in the back, it looks like a little bit of action here between Jason and multi Beagle dude. Now Jason is closing in on a cut penalty. Beagle's been mostly clean. As Jason will go wide. Those cuts might affect him later on. As, actually, fuck, I just missed it. Something happens to Twin. I don't know what, because I was watching Jason and Beagle. Loses the lead. Now it's battling for 2nd with Arisneta, so that means Shuffle's back to the lead. So he must have gotten loose there just a couple turns ago. And Shuffle's got a good lead here. Arisneta is just behind in the 3rd place spot. With her McLaren, just trying to see if there's anywhere that she could look into. Any little openings, any little spots, weaknesses. It looks like this restart was just about what they needed. Now, Mr. Monaco's been on slightly fresher tires than these guys, about 6 laps to be exact. Not significant, but it does look like they've been going a little bit quicker than they were before the restart. As you can see, the two cars in the back, that's again Beagle and Jason added, but meanwhile up at the front, it's about evenly spread between first, second, and third. But Twin might actually be gaining this this time around here. So we make our way up to the Hotel Hairpin under the Corvette bridge. Now down into the breaking point into the Hotel Hairpin. Yeah, I think Twin was just a little bit more aggressive there. So look at the cuts here. Mr. Monaco's really closing in. Jason is especially. You're about 14 cuts until you get a 10-second penalty. So do be wary. So Shuffle's held off a good lead so far ever since this restart. It seems like things have just been switched around. But I'm not going to say that things are very spread out either at all. I mean, actually Twin's gaining a little bit on this straight. Closed down to about 4 car lengths. Now into the final turn. And Shuffle's going to take a little bit of a wider line than Twin. I think that definitely goes to Twin's benefit here. The advantage of Twin into the start-finish line, about 3/10 separating them. Arisneta about second off from Shuffle. But Twin is starting to close in once again on that GMG machine. Shuffle stays off the wide part of the line until the end of the straight. It's a bit of an interesting way to take that. And here's Twin. He's closed down that gap to just about a car length. He's closing in little by little here into the Hotel Hairpin. We are on lap 8. Almost a third of the way through. Already a quarter way, I believe. And here's Twin on the rear bumper for just about a second. Backed off to about a car length. That Dodge Viper is homing in like an American missile. He's going to take the inside away and gets by back to the lead. But they are still not quite separated yet. Shuffle's less than a car length back from Twin, and things could easily turn around. But Twin gets back to the lead. But here's Shuffle. I think Twin is starting to kind of try to climb away from it. But every little thing that Shuffle can do, he's trying. Twin goes off onto the grass. Arisneta closing in. We might be seeing a three-way battle for the lead here. And there's Twin, Shuffle, and Aris, the three of them. Twin goes wide, Shuffle down the inside. It's a crossover move for the lead, but Twin's going to get it back by the end of the straightaway. And Shuffle had the lead for just a second there, but Arisneta might be closing in. The top three all within half a second. And that was a great line by Twin there to get away from them, but Shuffle and Aris still challenging off each other. We are closing in on the halfway point soon. That might be a strategy. Here's Aris and Shuffle side by side, but Aris gets going wide and lost a little bit of that. Same thing for Mr. Monaco, the entire cut of the corner. Complete disregard for the track limits. So we're going to look at the cut. So let's see. A little crazy there for Mr. Monaco. A little bit more than halfway there. Cole is halfway there. And Jason is about 10 till almost. Our top three has been pretty clean despite this, though. Arisneta again trying to cut just to get any little advantage she can over Shuffle, as they both claw back to try to get to Twin. Might have to ask Jake if it was worth the $40 after this. The racing's been stellar, that's definitely for sure. for these 3 races. As Twin's going to get a little bit ahead. Arisnetta trying to go side by side, but she goes almost into the tire barriers. That could have been very ugly. But she stayed out of trouble. But here she is, just on the inside of Shuffle. As there's the crossover for the 2nd place spot. Aris is going to go wide. Shuffle stays ahead. And Beagle is still just behind Jason, although with that penalty coming in, it might allow Jason to slide by. I mean, it might allow Beagle to slide by for a position. Meanwhile, up at the front, into the hotel hairpin, and it looks like Aris tried to make a move there, couldn't get anything to stick. Shuffle stays ahead by the end of the turn. And we're actually closing in a little bit back onto Twin. Oh, Shuffle's loose. Oh, that was a bit of a gnarly little deal over there. He's losing a lot of speed. Gained a little bit to Twin. You can see Twin get a little bit of a hop off the curb, but kept it going. But that didn't help him. Shuffle is closing in a little bit here. I was going to say it was not helping him, but that little hop seemingly took out a lot of speed from Twin. So the gap has been closed back down quite a bit. As they make their way down across the other straight from the front stretch, Arisnetta looking down the inside of Shuffle. Right on his rear bumper here. As they make their way into the final turn. Shuffle's going to stick ahead, but he goes a little bit wide there. Here's Aris around the outside. Now it's side by side for that 2nd place spot. Again, the top 3 within a second. As Shuffle goes wide, Arisnetta going to cross down the inside, but she's touched the wall ever so slightly. Shuffle is going to get back up ahead into 2nd place onto the next turn. This battling could definitely hurt the both of them on their efforts to get back to the lead. It's a huge distraction in a lot of ways. I know how it is. But anything to get ahead of the other person. And Arisnetta goes wide. Once again. Look at those cuts here. Yeah. Jason, you're 1 cut till you get a 10-second post-race penalty. Just hang in there. So, that being said, Arisnetta is still battling out with Shuffle. That being said, Jason has gotten a 10-second time penalty. He will technically be 6th place, but we'll see how that race goes on as things continue. So that's going to be 10 seconds post-race. We'll figure that one out. It looks like the top 3 has spread out a tiny bit this time around. All that battling has kind of made things a little bit difficult to keep up with Twin. As his reign of domination continues here at Sebring. The stream's gone on for 53 minutes. That's crazy. Oh, we are nearing on the halfway point of this race. It looks like so far the field has spread itself out. How is Mr. Monaco doing? He's kind of fallen a little bit back here, just holds off a 4th place spot. But the top 3 is just something else today. And Jason has pulled it into the pits. We'll see if he has parked himself or not. Okay, he's parked himself, so that puts Jason out of the race. That means Beagle is going to take home a top 5 if he can hold himself here. Which may be pretty beneficial coming into the next couple races. Of course, only race 2. A lot of people didn't even finish race 1, so just about anything would be helpful here. Sure, surely a breath of relief for Multi-Beagle, dude, as Arisneta has gone ahead of Shuffle off screen. I keep on missing those critical moments, and I'm very sorry. It just happened when I don't expect them. So we are now 13 out of 30 laps and nearing the halfway point pretty closely here. I'm going to go to Twin Turbo V6 on board. Looks like things have spread out a little bit. I muted that whole time? That's not good. I don't know if I was or not. But we've had quite the battle stir up here. As, well, it's kind of spread out. I mean, that last lap, Arisnetta had gone wide. I'm going to be curious if she does the same thing out of the final turn. Closes in on shuffle. Now through the final turn they go. Arisnetta is carrying more speed, but she goes wide. I'm not sure if she's trying to do some sort of slingshot or something. It is a flat turn, so I'm not sure how advantageous that could be. The gap has fallen back to about 4 seconds. About 5 for Eris. Eris goes way off. Eris is loose. But she keeps it going. That was a great save by Arisnetta. Kept it under control. But that cost a lot of time there on shuffle. Didn't lose exactly too much, but I think that's about a second down. As I think Beagle might be put a lap down soon. Here's Twin in his Dodge Viper, crosses the line for the 19th time. We have 11 laps to go here. So we are nearly at the last third of it. I think Twin might be starting to get away with this one. That was a good looking exit there for Shuffle. But overall, not a whole lot to currently talk about. We're just watching things to see what goes on. And this is, of course, Twin's environment. Said last time he slept. I think this one's going to be a little bit less like that. We're just watching between Eris and Shuffle as the tail chase continues on. Alright. I think I missed that is Shuffle going to the pits. So Shuffle has gone to the pits, so is Twin. Twin gets out of the pits. And Twin gets going. So Eris is at the lead. We got 10 laps to go here. Fuel could be a factor, but Eris is known for being pretty darn good at that. Made up a good gap. I don't think that was a very good pit stop for either of them. So Arisnetta is already, I'd say about 3 or 4 turns ahead. It's about 15-20 seconds at least. So Very curious. And Jason's actually, that's me. Never mind. I was gonna say Jason's still actually watching. That's cool. No, he's gone off his way. That's okay. But Arisnetta, goes a little bit wide. And as far as cuts, Mr. Monaco's got a 10-second penalty. Cole is closing in 1-1, though that's not going to really matter to him. Shuffle is about 15 cuts away, so 14. Eris is about 20 cuts away, so Eris has been pretty clean as far as that goes. Beagle goes into the inside wall, clips it. That's put him about a lap down here. Again, still running in for a pretty good top 5. I'm curious to see what that gap with the second place spot's going to be. As here's Twin fresher tires closing in on Mr. Monaco. Well, that's the gap he's got to make up. And of course, Eris is running on hopes that she could get fuel. Or she could probably run without refueling towards the end of the race. It looks like that might be your strategy. It's about a 20-second gap that has to be made up. That pit stop was not very good, I think, meanwhile, for Shuffle. But here's Twin. And Twin is closing in on the McLaren of Mr. Monaco. Of course, he saw no tires. Gets loose there. Twin closes in. And side by side there for the second place for a bit, though. But Twin was just carrying more speed, and he's going to stay ahead in second place. I believe that's how that one's going to settle itself. Let's see how Eris is looking. Lap to the lap. She hasn't been too bad. So, that being said, Arisnetta has made up a bit of a gap here from Beagle. And makes her way through the final turn. Let's see how this lap looks. Not the quickest. Her tires are starting to get a little bit older. But I think she's, judging by the way we're looking here, with 8 to go, I think Eris is confident with her current strategy. So Eris, that gap has closed down significantly. 7 seconds has been lost in that last lap. So Twin's taking that gap down to 12. And the question is, can Twin take a 12-second gap in 8 laps? It's got to be over a second faster. He does have fresh tires. Eris is notoriously really good with the old tires. So that could change things. It is possible for Mr. Monaco potentially to go. Looks like Mr. Monaco's also been running without any pit stops, hoping that'll work for him too. Could take home a podium. That was a rough pit stop for Shuffle. As Cole, you've reached your 10-second penalty. It's not really going to affect you though. You're just holding 5th. Did he pit? Okay. Oh yeah, I think he did. Well, yeah, that was a lot earlier. So, I guess in a way there is that for Mr. Monaco. I mean, he did pit like lap 5, so he does have a 5-lap advantage. But his tires are still pretty darn dead. Might be able to hold up to Shuffle by the end of the race if he doesn't need fuel. Which just begs the question on how Eris is doing. It looks like she's on fuel. It almost sounds like she's on fuel saving strategy. How is that gap there? That was a 141, so she's virtually lost almost no time at all to Twin. So it might be holding up to take home a win. All depends on how she holds up with 7 laps to go. just really going to be dependent here. So I think actually there is a day-night cycle, so you can actually see the game starting to darken up. It is becoming evening. A lot of glare on the track, as the lights are becoming also a little bit more visible. Maybe goes into the tire bears. Yeeks. Reminder, if you do fall 3 laps down, that will be, actually if you fall 4 laps down, that'll be it. So, yeah, you're fine. Mr. Monaco, by the way, your second penalty will come once you get 90 cuts. So remember that you're technically 20, so you're only about 12 seconds ahead of Shuffle, technically, by penalty. So, with that being said, for Shuffle, there could be some hope for him. All depends on how that next little bit goes. If you get 10 seconds here. There's just lost about a second on Twin, but we are closing in on 5 to go. The track itself is getting darker. The lights are on. You can see on Eris's car. So definitely the track is starting to darken up here. They run late into the evening. And Beagle has gone through the pits. We'll get fresh tires just to get drivability drive issues just settled up for him as Beagle leaves the pit lane. Looking at the cuts here, so again, Shuffle with about 7 to go until you get a 10-second penalty. That might be something to think about. Again, technically speaking, you're about 10 seconds back from Mr. Monaco. As here's more or less fuel. And Eris actually goes into the pits. She's probably going for a fuel pit stop. Here's Twin making his way around the final turn. And Eris Netta will lose that lead. But we got 5 laps to go. And every second in that pit lane is a second that Twin is getting ahead of Eris. So Twin will stay ahead, gets his lead back off of fuel strategy. Now the track is really starting to get dark here as the late evening starts to settle in. As meanwhile, Mr. Monaco is out of the track. We got a yellow flag on the racetrack. It will be a race back. Need to find your car. And Beagle, yeah, she could get your lap back. So this might make things very interesting. But we are going to have a race back here. Twin is the determined one. Of course, you could pit going into the caution here. But that's up to you. No telling with how long it's going to get. Just merge behind them, if I'm going to be honest, Mr. Monaco. Just let them pass you and just merge behind. I'm going to be restarting from just ahead of Beagle. So, that being said, I will. Yeah, I will. I want to get this one going sooner, so. With the amount of laps we have here. And Twin stays out of the pit lane. As Air is going to get tires. She's going to stay out of the pit, so yellow flag is up. And Twin is going to get it. Shuffle. Mr. Beagle, okay. Okay. Beagle is going to... Yeah. Inside job. No, no, there's no way Mr. Monaco would have done that because intentionally, because if he didn't, if he did that, that basically screwed him out of finishing third. So he's pretty much gonna finish fourth now. I think it was 75. All right, Beagle, you could get going. Let them pass you. So those are accumulated. I think he had 75. I don't know exactly how many, but we'll just run off. And so that means that Shuffle will take third back. We have our 5 cars. We are going to go green this lap. And Mr. Monaco stays ahead of Beagle, by the way. Beagle's getting his lap back, so he's in 5th. Okay. A lot of uncertainty as that late caution definitely mixed things up here. The sun starts to fall over the horizon here at Sebring as darkness starts to settle in. So we're going to come back to 3 to go too, I believe. So that's going to be interesting. Beagle, if you could back off here. You're in 5th. You're in 5th, Beagle. Yep. So, Beagle and Mr. Monaco both have penalties. They will be racing. Beagle's got fresh tires, if I recall correctly. Unless they were just getting fuel. It's 45. Yeah. Anyways, watch your pace here. This is where things get important. Green flag. And Shuffle gets it ahead of Arisnetta. And Aris clearing off from Shuffle. Shuffle's got fresh tires, I believe, so they're now targeting on Twin. Twin has slightly old tires, and not very old, but I believe if I was him, I would have pitted at least. Getting the advantage I can. He falls back though, back into battling for third. Meanwhile, Beagle is getting ahead of Mr. Monaco there. Shuffle side by side with Arisnetta. And Shuffle goes wide, gets a cut. He has 5 till he gets a time penalty. Meanwhile, Beagle and Mr. Monaco are basically off in their own race, going against each other. That's gotta be honestly very frustrating for him. Things have certainly been mixed up here. This Beagle goes wide. So does Mr. Monaco. Not a lot for these two to lose. They're pretty much off in their own race as the top 3 is up against each other. Twin has made up a bit of a gap. We will now have 2 laps to go once you guys come up to the line. So 2 laps to go here across the line. Twin in first, Arisnetta in second place, only 7/10ths behind. As here we go now into the hotel turn. Again, the air just absolutely dark around us. As Twin has actually turned his lights off. seemingly trying to be invisible here. How's Multi-Beagle Dude pairing up with Mr. Monaco? Looks like Mr. Monaco is still falling back behind. As Twin makes its way now onto the last straight for the preliminary time. We close into the final lap in just a few short moments. Meanwhile, Mr. Monaco closing in on Multi-Beagle Dude. But up at the front, it's going to be Twin Turbo V6, so now this time by the white flag in the air. And all has gone dark on the racetrack. This is where it all lies. About 4 cuts for shuffle. There's something to see there. Arsenetta has about a second gap to make up, but Twin is not moving. Twin is not moving. Is he disconnected? Did the impossible happen? We will see in a few moments here. Twin is not moving, so I'm not sure where he is. I'm not sure if that's it for him. And he's gone. So Twin is out of the race. And an unexpected turn of events. Oh goodness, he'll be scored 5th place. Arsenetta leads us off. And Shuffle not far behind. But the battle for 3rd still on between Beagle and Beagle and Mr. Monaco. More so than they had expected. That's just unfortunate for Twin. I'll give you your... shit, where were they? I'll let you finish just so you can get 5th place. That's genuinely painful though. But anyways, here's Arsenetta now. Makes her way down the back straightaway. And Mr. Monaco actually, you can see, overtakes Multi-Beagle Dude for the 3rd place spot. But meanwhile, here's Arsenetta. Makes her way through the final turn and onto the front stretch. Your race winner is Arsenetta here today at Sebring. 2nd place is going to be Shuffle. And 3rd place across the line is close here, but it goes to Mr. Monaco. Thought it was all lost for him, but finishes up in 3rd place. Multi-Beagle Dude rolls off in 4th. We're going to give Twin his car. Both of you guys are penalized, but both of you guys have the 10-second time penalty, so you're still both racing against each other. So I need to find where Twin DNF'd. Not DNF'd. Pulled off. So that's the final lap. I'll let you just cross the line just so you can finish it. So, here you go, Twin. So, that's unfortunate there for Twin, but just make a car across the line. You will get scored as the 5th place finisher here. But here is Arsenetta. So Arsenetta, our winner today. How are you doing?
Mixed feelings, honestly. Super mixed feelings. It just feels super lame that Twin disconnected at the last lap. It's so just bad. I don't know. I don't know what I can say. Like, I honestly don't give a shit. I wouldn't have been mad if I had gotten 2nd, because I know I fucked up by not getting tires. But it's so damn lame. I really wanted the finish to be like, to stay like that, because it was gonna stay like that. I was not getting the position back, but I said it in chat. It's like the 3rd time that Twin disconnects on like the last lap or near the very last lap. It's so lame.
You know, in a way, it's kind of like having a mechanical error on or a mechanical issue on the final lap. You know, so a lot of ways it's basically that. So in a lot of ways, I would say a win is a win, but that's absolutely unfortunate for Twin. Still, overall, a victory, and I think it's the first time you've won at all this year, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it is.
Line in 5th place.
I mean, there's only been 2 weekends, so like. at least 2 weekends that I participated in.
That is true.
But it's actually so lame. I stopping the rat. If the race was fun, the car drives the cars drive nice when you get used to the braking points, because I remember these cars didn't really brake super well. Uh, Flashback to Lakeside, the turn after the backstretch, you have to brake at like the 600 marker last year. Um, but like yeah, the cars are good. The track was fun. A bit annoying sometimes because when you get off the track, there's like no hope left for you anywhere. You kind of have to just pray that you can car control well, because or else you're just spinning out. I actually spun out. After the uh after the Twin and Shuffle both pitted, um, I I was going through the straight right before like the last little set of turns before the backstretch, and I took a bad exit on the turn leading up to it, so I spun and I hit the wall. That's why the gap fell like 7 seconds,
Hmm.
because I spun. I was
Uh,
able to get a decent recovery, yeah, but it really messed me up.
all right. Well,
I have a feeling that if I hadn't spun out there and I hadn't lost those 7 seconds, I could have still came out in P1 after my pit stop. But eh, I still won, I guess.
all right. Well, there you go, Arisnetta. Now we're gonna talk to Shuffle here. Shuffle comes across the line in second place. Had a bunch of good runs up there too. That was definitely one of the more unexpected race finishes. So how are you doing here? Oh wait, you probably want to text it, so I'll just read out what you say. Pit stop, my fuel did get added, but I lost so much time because I had to refuel it. But then the caution came. Twins mom started watching TV again and got TV. No, I just remember. Oh my god, that's gonna be an interesting interview when we get to Twin. I really want to hear him out because that, man, my pace is good, so overall happy. Also, standings are updated. Let me send you. Thank you. I'm gonna head up to P3 now. If you want to say anything else, I will still continue to read it as I head over to P3. Then I'll get the podium photo. Let's get the podium photo. I'll interview Beagle after I get Mr. Monaco, and then I'll get Twin. So, Mr. Monaco, seems like all hope is lost until the final lap there for you. Uh, so you come across the line, ended up finishing third. So, what can you bring me through over for today's race? I believe you're unmuted, but you are also able to chat. I'll just read whichever you prefer. See, China in Discord. Roller coaster of a race, he says in the Discord. So he's on Discord, so I'll read it. This P3 might have been even more worth it than a P1. The racing and the battle at the end, and the events that led to it. I know, like, all hope just seemed to be lost. It was just amazing. So that's somebody that has a positive outlook over today. I could get why. That I thought everything was just done. So, a very solid P3 there. Got just on the last lap there. There's more races coming around, but how do you think you're going to look like at Hoosier Speedway when we ran up to that one? Come up in late April, by the way. Alright. It's a very heavily revamped track, so it's a lot better than it was. If we could get Shuffle up to the line, by the way. I want to get a podium photo, then we'll get on with the rest of the interviews. Thank you. I just want to get this one done. Man, it's dark out here. Alright. I'm just gonna stand by yours. Alright, I'm gonna get this photo in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That'll work. Thank you, guys. We're now gonna move on to the last two people to interview. We're gonna talk now to Mr. Cole. He's going to be up next. He was racing there for the third place spot. Had it at the restart. But just came a little bit short at the very end. But honestly, a very strong debut race. Honestly, a chance for a podium is really good. So, how are you running today?
Personally, I felt like I ran good. I mean, DGS gave me an absolutely well-balanced Porsche 911. And I mean, it was such a good car. It had a lot of good speed to it, and I really enjoyed, everything that was with it. I just felt like, personally, I needed to, not make as many mistakes. I feel like I made a big one, I was trying to run a little bit more conservative. I wasn't really trying to corner cut as much as I wanted to. I really wish I would have, because I feel like that would have maybe set the difference between me and, Monaco. But, Monaco's a great driver. He was dragging me on the long-term races and the long runs. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, DGS gave me a well-balanced car, and it gave me a great car. And, for us to start fifth and go to fourth, at the end of the day, even though Twin had an unfortunate event, I'll take a night going up by somebody's misfortune than any other night. So, yeah, just thank you to the DGS racing team for giving me an absolutely rocket ship of a Porsche Hossomation. Everybody hopes get this kind of deal out here, and I mean, everybody, really. Congrats to Monaco, Arizona, everybody on the shuffle, all y'all rating me really clean. Wish I would have been able to get on the podium, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers, and it just feels good to come back and do this well.
Very much so. And by the way, a P4 in a championship like this is probably going to become very valuable later on in the season. So we'll see if you run into more times here.
Man, let me just make it clear. I'm gonna just say it to everybody here that they know. I am not here to go for a championship. I'm here as a driver to just, I'm like that one guy, the local guy who pulls up in an open trailer with everybody else pulling up in toter homes. I'm just here to have a good time, and you know what? I had a great time here today, and I had a great time on that last restart battling with Monaco. So, points, they matter to me a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm just glad I'm just happy to be here. I'm glad to have fun, and it was really fun to battle against all these talented drivers.
All right, well, take it there, Beagle. We will be going to Hoosier Speedway, which I think might be in your strengths to some extent.
Man, and again, Hoosier Speedway, doesn't matter what track.
Right.
I'm going to go out here, have fun.
Thank
you to Rebel Mesa for giving me an absolutely amazing car and giving me an opportunity. And thank you for hosting, Not a lot of people will take all this time to build these tracks and have this fun and put all the effort in. So thank you to him, and thank you to everybody for giving me a good run.
All right, well, thank you there, Cole. Sorry about the Mitz car race. Didn't happen. We'll see you later. All right. Negative. We got one more person, and that's definitely the person who took the shortest end of the stick. Very unfortunate at the finish. That would be Twin Triple V6. Had a lot of domination today. Had a lot of wins this weekend, and we'll probably have a couple more in you if I think these are going to go well. So what happened there, by the way?
Just a disconnection, man. I don't know. It's like the worst feeling of you're just going along trying to set really quick lap times, and then you just hear engine sounds start freezing, and then your commentary just starts getting cut off. It's like you kind of just know what's about to happen.
Oh, it's a dreadful feeling.
So yeah,
I, thi-
definitely sucked.
I think you are still leading the championship though so far, so at least there is that to take home with. But bad
Yeah.
day. Had a lot of other good races this weekend, and I think there's still going to be a lot more tomorrow with the Formula Micros and the. Well, let's see what you do in the Super Indies.
Yeah, I mean those should be a lot more fun, but um yeah, I mean the race itself was really, really good. Um and I mean it's just great battles all around, three-way battle for the lead half of the time. Um just try to carrying a little bit more fuel throughout the race, but I just realized I wasn't gonna make it to the end, so I just stopped fuel saving and went right into the pits on like lap 20, and I was just cruising from there, trying to just set qualifying times every lap. Um, Unfortunately for Eris, the safety car came out right at the worst time, right when she left the pits. So that definitely sucks, and I definitely kind of feel bad. Um, but it's also nice that she won from that loss, so it kind of made up for it at the end, which is really nice. Um, yeah, just good race. Definitely learned from it. Hopefully my internet can too. Uh,
Oh god.
Yeah.
I know how it is. I've had that happen way too many times.
Yeah, it's definitely a recurring theme for me too at this point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seemed good for most of the weekend up until now, but yeah, hopefully tomorrow is going to be a lot better.
All right.
And yeah, congrats to Eris, Shuffle, and Mr. Monaco for making the podium, which is really nice. You usually don't see those podiums very often, but yeah, it's very nice to see.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say before we close off for today?
I'm gonna switch to Ethernet when I can.
That's ultimately very valid. All right. Well, look at their twin turbo V6. Thank you guys for coming around. I got the podium picture. Quick time for today was Arisneta. Twin takes home pole, so he will still have a relatively strong points lead, I believe, towards coming to the next race. So that'll be, once again, that'll be Hoosier Speedway. There will be, of course, a mid-cars race, but that's going to be Hoosier Speedway. Now, tomorrow, we still got two more bits of action to get onto. That's going to be Formula Micros for a 10-lap race. That'll be the shortest race, I think, of the weekend, coming up on tomorrow at 12 p.m. ESPST. And then 2 hours after that, we'll be seeing the Super Indies over at 2 p.m. ESPST for a 40-lap race. Now, they're going to be a lot faster than these cars. They're going to be a lot faster than any other cars. So that race, I think, might last about the same amount of time as this. But we'll see. So, I think that's going to close up for the weekend. Or for today, not the weekend. We'll see you guys tomorrow.